Okay, we're going to look at period changes in trig graphs. So let's just take a look. The first thing, with graphing trig functions is you have to know the fundamental function, f of x equals sine x. You need to know that the sine of 0 is 0, the sine of 90 is 1, the sine of 180 is 0, 270 is minus 1, and 360 is 0. That's this green line here. That's the function f. Now, the function f has a few things that are important about it. One is called its period. That's the number of degrees it takes to go through a complete wave, starting, going to the top, coming to the middle, going to the bottom, and coming back. And the period for sine is 360 degrees. Sine repeats itself every 360 degrees. Its amplitude is 1. It goes up to 1. It goes down to minus 1. The range is between positive 1 and minus 1. But what happens if we put a number in front of x, a coefficient of x? So instead of the sine of an angle, it's the sine of 2 times an angle, 2x. Well, something special happens. The period changes. The distance it takes to go through a wave, a complete wave, changes. And all you have to do is take 360 degrees and divide by that number. So 360 degrees divided by 2 is 180 degrees. Well, that's the period of the new wave. Now, in your calculator, when you graph using your calculator, if you do such a thing, the step is 90 degrees. That means that every 90 degrees, something special happens. It hits a turning point, it goes back to an x-intercept, or it comes down to a turning point. Well, what happens is the step goes from, instead of being 90 degrees, it goes to 45 degrees. It's also half as much. So every 45 degrees, you hit a maximum. You go then another 45 degrees, you go to an x-intercept at 90 degrees. So it's exactly the same wave, except it's going to go through a complete wave in 180. So just go 45 up to 1, 90 at 0, 135 minus 1, 180 back to 0, then go up another 45 degrees, 225 and 1, then back to 270 and 0, then down to 315 and minus 1, then back to 360 degrees. You see, there's 2 complete waves in 360 degrees. And that's what putting numbers in front of x does to the period. You just take the normal period and divide by whatever that is. And normally they might use a 2, they might use a 3. They rarely come up with numbers different than that. But if it was a 5x, the new period would become 360 degrees divided by 5. And then you'd have to graph it. It just wouldn't be very nice. So that's period changes. Okay.